Hey guys, it's Karla from the Medicine Hat Public Library here. I'm back with another super fun video. In today's video, we are going to be celebrating Harry Potter's birthday. So in order to do that, we are going to be making two different things. We are going to be making a cake to replicate the cake that Hagrid brought Harry for his birthday, and we are also going to be making frozen butterbeer. So we are going to start off with making the cake, and I'm just using this box mix here, and I'm making a chocolate fudge cake. Of course, you can recreate this cake with any type of cake that you like best. We're going to go with chocolate cake. So this is very simple since I'm using a box recipe. I'm just going to follow the instructions on the back. So we have our cake mix. We have 1 1/4 cups of water. And then I'm going to measure out a 1/2 cup of oil. And then I'm going to add 3 eggs. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my whisk and mix this all together. Alright, now that that is all mixed together, I'm just going to use a little bit of margarine and grease my 2 pans. This says it will make 2 8-inch cakes, so I'm going to do that right now. Alright, now that my cake pans are nice and greased, I'm going to pour half of the batter into each one. So these are going to go in the oven for about 10 minutes at 350 degrees, and then I'm going to let them cool, and we'll meet back here to decorate the cake. So the cakes have finished cooling. I still have them on the cooling racks here. One thing I did do before bringing them over to the table is I took a bread knife and I trimmed off the tops of them so that they're nice and flat and they'll stack nicely together. And I do want to mention, I don't have any fancy tools for decorating a cake, and I think that's perfect for making this cake because Hagrid's cake, if you remember from the movies, it's not perfect. The words are misspelt, the icing's just kind of slapped on there. I'm pretty sure he sits on it at some point. So this is a cake that you don't need to be great at decorating cakes for to make look good. So if you do have fancy cake decorating tools at home, I would be really excited to see what your cake turns out to look like, because it might look really cool if you get nice and creative with it. But if you don't have anything fancy like me, we'll see what it turns out like. And this might not be the right way to make your cake and decorate the cake, but it's the way that I know how, so that's how I'm going to do it. And I'm hoping it will work out just fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have a wooden cutting board here, and this is what I plan to ice my cake on and then transfer it over to this nice serving dish. And I have this huge spatula here, and I'm just going to transfer one of the pieces onto this cutting board here. And I'm going to take just a little bit of icing, and I'm just going to put a little bit with the spatula right here just to help stick the cakes together. So this is going to be just a really rough coat of icing here. Oops, it was a little bit too rough there, but that's fine. And I'm going to take the second piece of cake And I'm actually going to flip it over so that I have the nice bottom of the cake on top, so it's a little easier to ice. So I'm going to flop that on. And now it looks like this. So I have the bottom piece with a thin layer of icing in the middle just to kind of help hold it together. And then since our icing is white, that didn't matter for in the middle, but for the outside of the cake, I want it to be pink. So I'm going to put the rest of this in this bowl here, and we are going to dye it pink so that it looks like the one that Hagrid made. If you don't have pink dye at home, you can make this whatever color you want. It is your cake. Just because I'm making mine look like the one from the movie doesn't mean you have to. You can be creative with yours. To dye it pink, I'm just using a little bit of pink food coloring. And we found pink food coloring in this neon pack of food coloring from Clubhouse. So if you can't find that, I'm sure if you use just a little bit of red, and since the icing is white, it could mix together to make a pink. Just like that, and we have perfect pink icing. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to use this same little spatula and cover the whole cake with it. Like I said, Hagrid's cake was fairly messy, so I'm not going to worry too much about making it look perfect and smooth because it's not supposed to. So I'm just going to start by putting a big dollop on top and then spreading it out. I actually really like the color that turned out to be. So I'm going to start with the top, bring it around the sides. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. And I know it doesn't look great, it doesn't look perfect, but again, that is what we're striving for with this cake because Hagrid's cake was not perfect. And now I'm gonna use some green icing and write the words "Happy Birthday, Harry" on it. And Hagrid misspelt some of these words, so I do have the image pulled up on my phone, so I spell it the same way that Hagrid did. So this is what mine turned out to look like, and I think it turned out pretty good. It looks pretty similar to the one from the movie. So I'm going to transfer this now onto my nice serving dish. And I did this because I didn't want all this messy icing around the cake to be on the serving platter. So I'm just going to slide this underneath and transfer it just like that. And the little bit coming out the back, I'm just gonna fix that icing really quick. Perfect. Now it's on a nice serving tray. All right, so this is how our cake turned out. And I really like how it looks. It looks like Hagrid's. It's written really messy. The words are misspelt. The cake's not perfect. So like I said, if you're not a baker like me, this is the perfect cake to make. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some butterbeer next so that we can enjoy a cold glass of frozen butterbeer with our cake. Okay, so in order to make frozen butterbeer, you're going to need a few ingredients. You're going to need vanilla ice cream, some cream soda. I bought this old-fashioned soda so that it's clear, but you can use the pink cream soda as well. Your butterbeer will just be pink instead, which is no problem. I also have some caramel topping and some Cool Whip. And this recipe is going to make enough for about 2 cups of frozen butterbeer. So if you want more, you can just adjust the recipe. I also have chilled my glass in the freezer for a couple hours so it's nice and frosted. And let's get started. The first thing you're going to need is the container for your blender, because we are going to blend some of these ingredients together. We're going to take about 5 scoops of your vanilla ice cream and put them right in your blender. Just like that. And then to this, you're also going to add about 1/4 cup of that butterscotch or caramel topping. All right. And then you're going to need your cream soda. I'm going to do a cup of that cream soda. Okay, now I'm going to take this over to my blender and just blend it till it's all combined, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back with my blended butterbeer. I'm going to pour it into my cup. And then to top it off, I'm going to put some of this whipped cream. And to make it extra fancy, I'm going to do just a little drizzle of caramel over top of that. And now I have a fun little straw that I'm going to stick right in there. And there you have it, your very own frozen butterbeer. It's really good. It's very sweet. If you make any of this, make sure you tag the library, show us pictures of the cake that you made, show us pictures of your butterbeer. I'd love to see them. In the comments, let us know what Harry Potter house you're in. I'd love to know that as well. And if you had fun watching this, just let us know. If you want to find more fun videos, check out our YouTube page at MHPublicLibrary. We also have some other fun Harry Potter videos and contests and trivia that's going to be coming up to help celebrate Harry Potter's birthday. So make sure you check out those as well. Have a great day. Bye.